There are moments in a man's life when he must face the consequences of his decisions. And then there are moments when he sits alone in a neighborhood pub, staring angrily at his phone, watching an episode titled Cheating, Cousins, and Ankle Monitors. According to Misty's version of events, Michael had spent months carefully balancing two separate lives. One involved a sick girlfriend who still believed that she was still in a committed relationship. The other involved Ashley, a woman reportedly connected to his former wife's family, whose arrival required less romance than it did scheduling, secrecy, and electronic monitoring. For a while, Michael may have believed the arrangement was under control. But secrets are curious things. They have a way of surviving whispered conversations, deleted messages, and carefully timed visits. And eventually, they become a brightly colored internet video with bold lettering and a family tree in the corner. As Michael watched the story unfold on the television behind the bar, the truth, or at least Misty's public account of it, was no longer confined to one house. It had subtitles, it had illustrations, it had background music, and worst of all for Michael, it had viewers faced with public embarrassment. Michael did what many brave men have done throughout history. He reached for his phone and called for reinforcements. Not lawyers, not counselors, not anyone likely to ask whether evicting a sick partner while secretly preparing another woman to move in was, perhaps, a poor choice. No, Michael called upon his loyal online defense squad. Ryan arrived first, emerging dramatically from the shadows, phone already in hand. Meisha appeared next, climbing from the depths of the internet comment section with the determination of someone who had received a group message marked urgent. Melissa followed closely behind, rising from a dumpster of discarded excuses while typing furiously into her phone. Together, they formed a powerful alliance. Not necessarily an alliance based on evidence, logic, or personal responsibility, but an alliance nonetheless. Within minutes, the reinforcements began their work. They defended Michael against criticism for maintaining a double life. They defended the decision to remove a sick woman from her home with nowhere stable to go. They defended his relationship with someone Misty described as both a relative of his former wife and a woman with a serious criminal history. To the average observer, these circumstances might have appeared troubling. To Michael's defenders, however, they were merely minor details standing in the way of loyalty. And loyalty, when separated from common sense, can accomplish remarkable things. It can transform betrayal into misunderstanding. It can transform secrecy into privacy. It can transform consequences into persecution. And it can transform a series of terrible decisions into a group chat emergency, requiring immediate emotional backup. Back at the pub, Michael embraced Ryan with tears in his eyes. Not necessarily because he had recognized the pain caused by his decisions, but because, at last, someone had arrived willing to tell him that none of it was his fault nearby. Meisha and Melissa continued typing. Perhaps they were defending Michael. Perhaps they were attacking Misty. Or perhaps they were simply trying to determine how a story involving cheating, cousins, and an ankle monitor had somehow become more complicated than the title suggested. And so the evening continued. Michael kept crying. Ryan offered reassurance. Melissa and Meisha worked the phones, and the video continued, playing behind them for everyone in the bar to see. Because the internet may occasionally forget a bad decision. But once that bad decision has a thumbnail, dramatic narration, and 11 illustrated chapters, it tends to remain available in high definition. And somewhere, beneath the sound of angry typing and wounded pride, one quiet truth remained. Michael had called for reinforcements, but the thing he truly needed was accountability.